Sakamoto days. Woo.
Sakamoto, the first. Well, I don't think it's the first though.
I've lost track. After you've been on YouTube for a certain period of time, all content starts to blend a bit.
Yeah. So if it is our first, yes, Sakamoto, the GOAT is here. It was not our first. This is my first time reviewing it. So
Yeah.
either way,
Either way, it's your first.
Mm-hmm.
World's first for Thurman. I definitely don't have Destiny on the brain right now. Anyway, there's not a whole lot to talk about this chapter, but it's one series we want to review occasionally as we start to rotate stuff in and out. And we've talked about that for a bit now, especially in weeks where there's only 2 cast members available.
It's actually so I want to talk about just first of all, this series is fucking amazing, bro. Like this chapter.
Can I say this is what I wish Spy X Family would be?
Yeah. Hell, what Yo's fan would be too. Oh, Luke is gonna, bro. The best spy. I'm gonna say it right now. Best spy.
The best Spy X Family.
Best spy series we've gotten.
Oh yeah.
In Jump.
Yeah.
Besides, well, I mean, whatchamacallit is mostly mafia, but this one's like mafia and spy, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
It looks like a mix, but the best mafia manga, Hitman Reborn.
Hands down, I will agree. It was a weird start, but once it got its grounding,
Yep.
I would love for them to reprint the volumes of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I found out? I was out of print last night when I was having my 3 a.m. I need some serotonin. The Pokemon Adventures Black and White volumes are out of print.
Wow.
Anyway, on to Sakamoto days. This arc is interesting. We're apparently reaching the climax of this arc, according to various people on Twitter. And that makes sense. There's not a whole lot you can do for an infiltration of an underground facility that hasn't been done in Resident Evil 1,000 times.
Yeah. I mean, what's curious about this is, since it's the climax, I think because my biggest thing that is driving the story, like when it's not slice of life gag, is this X person, this person who's been killing a bunch of spies in the business. And it's interesting because we all thought like they were trying to kill like Sakamoto. That was like the biggest thing, but no, this X is just killing anybody who's part of the association. And it's just interesting to see like who this person is, because we already know he must be someone who's like really, really big in this past life in the association, and like he's getting to the point where like even like big heads, like keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, like if we go from like power scaling of the verse, like these people here, like this we got their names last chapter, but this woman like that look like a chainsaw hand looking like she carries
Yeah.
like a fucking
So Thurman, have you ever seen the Grindhouse movies from, I think it was Robert Rodriguez, back in like 2010? Jesus Christ, I'm fucking aging myself in these videos now.
I haven't.
So there was a movie called, I believe it was Death Proof, where there was a gun for a leg. So I got a mixture of that mixed with a bit of Evil Dead here. So like Chainsaw Hand, Ash Williams, and that chick from the fucking Grindhouse movies that came out. And I'm just like, I love that little bit of like body horror style fighting that we're getting here with this. Oh, I highly recommend those movies if you haven't watched them, audience. And also Evil Dead. Also Evil Dead video game coming out soon.
So it wasn't a chainsaw hand, but she had like a little like I don't know what the fuck that shit is called. Like some sort of like tool. That shit look like it fucking hurts, mind you. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Ow.
dude. Like all of this shit looks like it hurts.
the author did such a good job, and even obviously the artist did such a good job of making like the weapons and like the blood and like the head like look painful. Like holy shit! Like just reading this like makes I'm over here like touching my neck, just
Yeah.
seeing that panel. Like oh my god.
Yeah, like that's an interesting bit we got here. So now we know that there's confirmed body augmentation in the series to like a cellular or almost like a body level. So essentially, like some of these assassins are basically super soldiers when you break it down.
Mm-hmm.
Because that clearly would have severed the neck when they were taking the hammer around his head or their head. And then just immediately like, I'm back up, bitch. Oh, I love weird shit like that in manga, especially with a series that does it so well like this. And the fact that this freak of nature here that had the what Red and I called during our, I believe it was our Why You Should Read video, a discount Lewis from Beastars because he's wearing the head of a fucking deer. The amount of care they have for human life, even though they're clearly an evil person, is quite interesting.
Yep. And it looks like he's been experimented on to like a high degree.
Like 100%. Because you got like him pulling what looks like stitches to reveal that weapon in his hand.
He's like heavy, like a puppet doll sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been like this ex person that he's talking about must be like hugely into experimentation.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense that he's like that because we see like this whole arc was about a lab that's about experimentation, granting superhuman abilities, like using chemicals to change people's like thought process, literally having a character who can read minds and shit. Like this ex person must really be into
augmentations and
augmentation and whatnot. So it's very interesting to see. So I'm legitimately curious on who this X person is in his backstory because now we know. Like I fucking love it too. How it's gonna be like a serious fight, right? And then Sakamoto just drops on him.
Yeah, just like plump. And not skinny Sakamoto, chunky Sakamoto, which to a normal person that would be the end of that. But no, because this person is so modified. It's just like whatever.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting. I love how he just recognized him too. So his name is Shiba, right? And I want to see the interaction between these two because clearly they were colleagues, and and it seems like the head association, they all know each other very well. Because I mean, like we said, like the series has pointed out, Sakamoto is a very well known.
He's got some clout in the murdering world.
Yeah, so he's very well known. So any like assassin worth their stuff would know like who he is and whatnot. So it's very interesting to see what exactly is going on in the whole I want to say world, possibly.
Yeah,
it's very interesting.
It's so this is really interesting because what I want to say might be revealed in 3 days because we're filming this on Thursday. I have no thought process regarding time anymore. I think it's Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thursday. I had to check my phone. So we're filming this on Thursday. In 3 days, this might be revealed. But what I'm thinking moving forward, we're going to get is almost a team up to try and figure out the actual identity of this X person. That's obvious. Like, everybody wants to get rid of X. But in the middle of this, we also have the bounty that is placed on Sakamoto. Because that's a recurring thing. Like, he is a wanted man, there's a bounty on his head because, what better than beating the best assassin in the world? So we have all of these people still gunning for him. So I think like what was it? Hard Boiled was the one that's got the gun fist thingies that are like Yang from Ruby.
Uh huh.
Him, the girl that was with him, maybe Sheba, and then we can all start forming this task force to figure out the identity of X. And after we figure out what's going on here in this underground facility, which will probably wrap up in the next couple chapters, we'll start to see that the seeds of that being planted. Because X is a bigger threat overall to the entire industry of assassination.
Yeah, he seems to be like a big deal. He's just killing off everybody, and these people here work under him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's be very, very interesting to see like what exactly is going on truly when it comes to this world, because
it's turned into almost an enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing.
yes, very.
And because if they don't team up at this point, there's going to be no assassins left but Sakamoto.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, and then, they can have their like battle royale, like whoever survives can, fight Mr. Sakamoto. Put battle royale in manga, how about that?
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
But I mean that pretty much covers the chapter.
Yeah. I'm just curious to see what else is going to go on here. We had a fight set up, so maybe a fight will still go on. But that's a pretty straightforward chapter.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure we'll get a bit of the fight in this chapter next, and then that task force being set up possibly. And then moving forward into the next arc, maybe training or weapon purchasing. This is a weird series; it can go anywhere. That's what I love about these gag series too. Oh.
Yeah.
So do you have a rating for this one?
Yes, I'm going to give it a 7. Pretty solid, pretty good comedy, very great. A lot of things actually. I just really want to see more.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing for me right now is I want to see more. Like these chapters seem to be one of the more fast paced. You go in terms of fast paced, you get, Black Clover. One you can basically read in a couple minutes, especially during this arc. But there's a lot to dissect theory-wise there. Sakamoto Days is my next one. Like, it's like a 10-minute read. And then you have Yo's Fam.
Yeah. So I'm legitimately curious to see what really happens.
Yeah.
So that's a piece for me.
That's a piece for me. See you next week, everyone.